Friday before Labor Day weekend. We're getting set up for another podcast. Kind of a fun story on this one. I was sitting up here at our co-working space off. This is the China Hall, and I saw a flash out on the street, and it looked like a picture flash. So I was on my phone. I just kind of peeked out the window. Two guys holding cameras. Looked like they were packing up. So I just went down the stairs and said, hey, I got this space I want to show you. Because we'd love to have different creatives recognize that this space exists downtown. And come to find out, one of them is the founder of a very cool company. It's a van company. He's customized a van that people rent out and take around the country for camping. So I asked him if he wanted to be on the podcast last week, and we scheduled it for this week, and I'm excited. And the cool thing is he's doing some promoting on his Instagram account, Northern Light Camper Vans. So he's been doing some different shout outs to say he's getting on the podcast, which is always great to see. I'm just excited to see this podcast come together and where our conversation goes. It looks like a pretty sweet business. I cannot stress enough, like, podcasts are just a great way to meet people and learn about their business and do it in an environment that leads to growth for the business, growth for yourself personally, content creation, which leads to having in the pipeline stuff for your Facebook and LinkedIn and other platforms. So if you can find a way to do a podcast in your business, I think it is super, super, super important. And it's now easier than it's ever been. So even though it might look to you as like a hurdle of how do I even begin, podcasts have never been as simple, never been as inexpensive, and you basically are running your own radio show. So getting set up, and we'll be ready by 1 o'clock to get this rolling.
I'm Grant Smith. We started a small business here in town called Northern Lights Camper Vans. Can they see that thing up there?
They will.
Oh, they will every once in a while?
I'll switch
Okay.
it right now. Hold on. There it is. Now they see it.
So I guess we build, well, we have one van currently. We're a teeny tiny business, and I super appreciate being on this right now. Like, I'm grateful for it. It's really cool that people do this in this town, so that's cool.
You bet.
Yeah. So it's essentially the van that we bought and we own is like those FedEx trucks running around, like the newer versions. Those are the Sprinters, so this is just the Dodge version of those.
Okay.
And inside it was just a blank cargo van. We built it out into a really cool living space. A lot of hardwoods, some soft woods, and it's really comfortable and it's beautiful, I think, so it's all off grid and you can kind of cruise wherever you want with it and enjoy camping. Or we've had people go to a Kid Rock concert in it and sleep outside the casino. So, it's just it's a really cool way to be outside, and that's kind of where I come from.
So you rent it out?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we rent it out to people. Yep, on a nightly basis.
Right. Because I thought right away, like when you said you build them out, I thought you just sold them, but you actually
we rent them out. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So our first customer actually rented it for 45 days from May 31st to July 14th, I think it was. He was from Boston, so I drove it out to Boston, bought a one-way ticket back to Minneapolis, and then he dropped it off in Minneapolis and then flew home to Boston. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, neat guy. I'm glad that he was like our first customer, and we kind of shared that really cool experience together.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
you got some pictures.
Cool.
So
You're showing some. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. And everybody that we've had rented so far has loved the experience in it. And it's just been it's been super cool to meet a handful of people that have rented it so far this summer. So. Yeah.
And it looks like that good mixture between, I get the great view of your website.
Yeah.
It looks like this good mixture between classic yet modern. You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
I think so. Yeah. We wanted it to be pretty warm feeling.
Right.
And kind of last over time and not be super trendy. We wanted it to last us 4 or 5 years, where maybe it goes through some trends, but it's super warm inside, comfortable to be in.
We're in the building in Stewartville, Minnesota. It's about 15,000 square feet. Just got done with a quick showing, and Kevin is now doing his photos. Look at that form. He's just got it down. Photography form. So this building has warehouse in the back, drive-in door, loading dock doors, office in the front. As you can see here, it's got this large basin. I don't know exactly what this was used for. I'll have to figure that out. It's like a drain of some sort. So once photos are all done, we're gonna do some promo videos. Are you in the transportation industry? We have a space that has loading docks, drive-in door, office space, warehouse space. We just listed it for sale and it's in Stewartville, Minnesota. Let's go take a look. Got done shooting the properties. What's your setup?
We got the DJI Ronin M stabilizer with the Nikon D3400. We got the DJI Spark drone. Pretty nice little cute drone right there.
Oh, that's
does
cool.
the job though. And yeah, there it is.
There it is. Let's see the finished content. All right, cameras. This is the Focusrite. The reason I purchased this is because it has the Thunderbolt connection on the back, which works well with the Mac. So this is where our 4 mics will go. You can control the audio on here as well. I haven't got into monitoring it where you have the capabilities of doing so. Just have this as a way to get from the mic to the Mac to the internet. We're excited for our guest today. Introduce yourself.
I keep looking for a monitor.
There it is, right there. That's our phone.
That's it? Okay.
That's it. Yep.
I'll pretend there isn't a monitor. My name is John Becker, and I guess I'm here because I've known Bucky for probably almost 5.5 years now, 6 years I believe this fall. I'll always remember meeting you because I thought it was very fortuitous for me at least, because I was looking to expand my business into Rochester. I have a business in Red Wing since 2002, Red Wing Framing and Fine Art Printing. And then 6 years ago, I was planning on expanding to Rochester and struggling, trying to really figure out how to connect, who to connect with. And it was a sheetrock worker who was working on the doggery at the time. And I said, who would I talk to if you were me and I needed to figure out how to connect? I said, talk to Bucky. So I went right over to your office. You were there. You showed me a few vacancies right away. Nothing worked out, but eventually it materialized. And I got a great space in Rochester, right next door to Lim Lab at the Riverside building. And for my purposes, it's perfect. It really is. It's got street visibility. It's small enough where I can afford it because it's not an inexpensive community, and I have parking. I mean, those are the 3 big wins that you look for in my business.
Your competition has to be huge, I imagine, as well.
It is, and you're looking for a tiny slice on this gigantic. So it's a question: do you want to be a little fish in a large body of water, or small, whatever? But
or the opposite.
Or the opposite. With our experience in Rochester, we started looking around again to how we could grow our business, how we could get that third revenue stream. And we really liked what we saw in Northfield. We've been aware of what's going on in Northfield for a long time. And we see kind of on a smaller scale what's going on in Northfield parallel to Rochester, aside from the DMC thing going on within Rochester. But a lot of community activation in downtown Northfield. You see a lot of that now in Rochester, and I see a lot more of it now too. Grassroots kind of guerrilla arts activity going on, which I think is very exciting and very healthy for a community.
All right, so we just got done doing what, Josh?
We just had a live podcast on Facebook with what's the name of the company? Something Framing, and it's a long name. Red Wing. Well, this is Rochester Framing and Printing.
And fine art printing.
Yeah. So.
What'd you learn?
I learned if I have something really old and I want to preserve it, I'm gonna get it framed and put on a wall.
Yes. What else did you learn?
I learned that Jesse James tried to rob a bank in Northfield,
That did happen.
and they have a thing on it.
They have a festival.
That's the word.
He's doing a really good
I'm
job.
thinking like event. I'm like, it's not an event, it's a festival. That's what it is.
So the podcast is all shot, and now I need to go into GarageBand here, and I need to share it. Yes, with the cameraman. So I need to go back to its original.
Educational. What's the education of the day?
Education is you need to be doing podcasts, Gary Vee says, because you can take the video, the audio, and make a lot of pieces of content that you can distribute via your brand, and making your content creation a lot easier because you just did it all in one sitting. So that's what we're trying to do. So now I'm just getting it dialed in so I can put it out on the different channels.
Have you been watching Gary Vee lately?
Oh dude, I watch him all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah,
I've stopped for a while.
I always watch Gary Vee. That's the only thing I watch. I
I know.
actually don't watch. Well, I watch CNBC a lot too. I like